Here to so here we're going to do the practical for the VMSS. Okay.
Yes.
First go to the search, then type VMSS. Type VMSS. Type VMSS. Here click on create to create a VMSS. Then we're going to create a resource group here. VMSS minus RG.
Okay.
You'll join.
Yes.
Okay. So
Skill
now,
set name.
uh, so here, what is VMSS? VMSS stand for virtual machine scale set. It is nothing but a auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling. The VMSS offers auto scaling and performance optimization and infrastructure flexibility options to mix with the different size zones and the fault domains. Here, I just created a one resource group. Resource group name is VMSS RG. Now, it is asking for the VMS set name. Okay, VMS set name is VMSS auto scale. I'm just giving the name as a VMSS auto scale. Then here auto scaling can help to respond to the you want to deploy these machines in the multiple availability zone. There is there multiple availability zones are there. You can select you want to deploy only in single availability zone. You can select here only single availability zone. Generally it will deploy in the multi availability zone. Okay, multi availability zone. Okay, next thing is the orchestration. There are two types of orchestration is there. One is the flexible orchestration and second one the uniform orchestration. So what is my orchestration? A scale set has a scale set model that defines the attributes of the virtual machine, size, number of data disk and etc. As the number of instances scale set changes, new instances are based on the scale set model. There are two types of scale set model is there. One is the flexible orchestration, second is the uniform orchestration. Two types of orchestration. One is the flexible and second one is the uniform. Okay. Here one is the flexible, second one is the uniform. Here see this. What is the flexible orchestration? Why it is recommended? Flexible orchestration provide unified experience across the Azure VMs ecosystem while offering the enhanced availability up to 1000 VMs. VMs are automatically distributed across the availability zone or fault domains within the region, ensuring resilience for both stateless and stateful applications. So whereas uniform orchestration ensure the consistency by using this is a predefined virtual machine, predefined virtual machine profile to deploy identical instance within a scale set, within the scale set. There are two types of orchestration is there. One is the uniform, second one is the which one? Flexible. Okay, flexible. Two types of orchestration. One is the flexible and another one is the uniform. Flexible is the another one is the uniform. Here, flexible orchestration achieve high availability at a scale with identical multiple virtual machine types. Which one flexible? Uniform is optimized for large scale stateless workload. There are two options are there. One is the flexible, second is the uniform. Achieve high availability at a scale with identical multiple virtual machines. Where uniform is for the optimized for the large scale stateless workload. Which one uniform? Here I selected a flexible here, and this one there are multiple options are there. SKU is there, three types of SKU. One is the standard level, and second one is the tested level, and third one is the confidential virtual machine level. Okay, the standard level SKUs basic level of security will provide. Okay, now Again, scaling rules are three types. You don't want any scale rule, like I don't want any scale rule. Then I select a no scale, means that it will don't have any scale rule. Another one is this manually update the capacity. I'm predicting that this scale will have a to will set the manually. Okay. And second thing is auto scaling. Based on the you have a metrics will be there. What are the metrics are there? Like CPU usage, RAM, memory usage, and have a storage and have like what is that? Network usage. Based on the metrics, the auto scaling will be created. Okay. Here in three option, I'll select auto scaling because of we are doing the auto scaling instead of manually, instead of no scaling, we select the dynamically. This auto scaling based on the CPU metric. It may be metric may be CPU usage, RAM usage, or what is that disk usage, or like having a network usage. This I selected auto scaling. So here there is an option is there. Default all options are default here. All options are default here. Here we're going to change this condition for the auto scaling. There is an option is there. You can check here configure. There is an option is there here in configure. Okay, by the default he had already created a condition. Okay, for scaling. What is the condition is there? There is a minimum, default, and maximum instances are there. You can check here. It is the default condition for the auto scaling. 222. What it means? Minimum, maximum, and default. Minimum is 2, default is 2 instance, and maximum instance are 20. And this is a CPU threshold is there. This is a CPU threshold is there. When the CPU load is more than 80%, then virtual machines will be created. There is a default option. When the CPU load is less than 20%, the virtual machine will be removed. When the 80% more, it will be added. When the 20% below, it will be removed. And there is a no schedule is there. There is a no schedule is there. This is a default condition. This is the default condition. You want to change this default condition, you can change the default condition also. Just click on this default condition. Now here, what is the default instance? 2. Default instance is 2 and the minimum instance is 2, means that whenever you create a auto scaling, by the default, how many instances will be created? 2 instances. How many instances will be created? 2
Two.
instances. And when there is a no load, how many instances it will? 2 instances.
Two.
When the huge amount of traffic hit, then how many instances will be created? 20. Maximum
20.
20. What I do here, I just keep it as 4 because of I don't want to create 20 because it will generate high bill. Okay, understood? Okay,
Yes.
and what is the scale out means? I told you that so many times. Scale out means adding more resources. Scale out means adding more resources. Scaling means reducing resources. Here there is a CPU threshold is there. If it is more than 80%, it will create a one virtual machine. For increase here, another option is there. Whenever the load is more than 80%, increase instance count by 1 or 2. How many instances you want to add? Here if you add 1 means it will add 1. Okay. After that, one by one it add. Suppose I had given 2, at a time 2 instances will be created. At a time 2 instances will be created. Understand? Now set as a CPU load as a some like 5. Okay, but generally it is not set. I set here. So increase count by 0 and CPU threshold. Yeah, that is the scale in. I'll just set as a 4. Okay, now so
Yeah.
4. So what is the query duration? The engine query will CPU usage for past 10 minutes before exceeding the scalability to avoid the reacting to the transient spikes. Okay. Here there's duration we can set here. This is the time, amount of time. Okay, you can set sometimes it will be it will check here. Set here. Set here 5 minutes. Set here the 5 minutes. Understand? Now
What
see.
does it mean, sir? The 5 minutes?
That time
What it
check
does?
CPU usage. You can check here. The engine will query the CPU usage for past 10 minutes. Understood? You can check here. The engine will query CPU usage. Okay, how much CPU usage is it? Okay. Now, say, what is the condition here? What is the condition? Default virtual machines are 2, maximum virtual machines are 4, and minimum instances are how many? 2. What is the CPU usage here? I set here 5% for the scale out. What is the 4% for the scaling? Understand? Then save here. Okay. Then here there is option is there like spot VM. You don't need to change here. In the networking, we are in the networking. We need to add the public IP address. We need to add the public IP address. 1 minute. Now, this is the public IP address. This is the virtual network. This subnet. We need to add here. We need to add here. Again, same thing, the previous thing. Whether I want to integrate this auto scaling with a load balancer. Whether I want to integrate auto scaling with a load balancer. There are 3 options are there. First is the none. Second one is the application Azure load balancer. Second with the application gateway. Whether I want to integrate auto scaling with a load balancer, whether you don't want. If you don't want to integrate this load balancer auto scaling, we need to select here none. You need to select here none. Suppose I want to integrate the auto scaling with the load balancer. I just selected a Azure load balancer. Then here click on the create load balancer. Okay, because we don't have any load balancer. If we already created load balancer, we can attach here. So it will create a load balancer. What is that? It will create a load balancer. If you don't want add this load balancer to the VMSS, we can just select here none. Here I am just adding the load balancer VMSS LV, and this is a public, and we select the TCP and the backend port as discussed yesterday. Backend port is 80 and the front end port is 80. Now again here click on create. Okay. Next here, the management option. Whether I want to enable this storage account, we can add this storage account also here. Whether I want to configure the health, like whether I want to configure the health, whether I want to do the monitoring, we can enable the health monitoring also. If we enable here checkbox, if you select this checkbox, it will enable the health monitoring. Okay, it will enable the health monitoring. It will be monitored by the Azure Monitor service. Okay, I don't want this one. Just click on the review and create. Whenever we create a virtual machine scale set, we define a condition. What is the condition is there? Minimum instances are 2, and the default instances are 2, and the maximum instances are 4. Whenever another thing is there, VMSS also do the health monitoring. What happens when one of the VM goes down? When any one of the VMs having health issue, what happens? What does VMSS do? It will replace with the new one. Understand? If any one of the virtual machine having health issue, what does VMSS do? It will replace with the new one. So suppose we are intentionally deleted a virtual machine, then what happen? So okay, it asking for the key. Okay, no problem. What happened when you delete the virtual machine from VMSS? If you intentionally
It
delete the virtual, what happens?
It opens another one, maybe?
Exactly. The
Creates an,
same thing,
yeah.
same thing. Whatever the AWS we again it will create new one. Again we had used the stress tool in the AWS to create a auto scaling. Say same thing we'll do here. Okay. How many virtual machines will be created? Default condition is 2. Default condition is the 2. Understand?
Two, yeah.
So and maximum is 4. We define maximum
20,
4.
four.
4.
Yeah.
So mean that when you put the load on the virtual machine, it will create a 4. Okay. If you don't use and if you leave for 10 to 20 minutes, suppose we created a 4 when you have maximum. If we leave for 10 to 20 minutes, okay, 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, what happen? It will again become to 2. If you don't use the virtual machine, we just leave it as
Yeah, yeah.
like ideally. If you leave for 10 to 20 minutes, then it will create another, it will decrease to the 2. It will decrease to 2. Now go to the resource here. Go to the resource. How many virtual machines are created? You can check here. This is the VMSS Autoscale. So under the instance, if you go under the instance, there are two instances are there. Okay, you can check here the last C1 instance and C6 instance. So in this one, I just delete the C6 instance. Okay, I'll delete the what? C6 instance. Understood? I'm just deleting the C6 instance. You can check here the name VMSS Autoscale 616D6161. Another one is the E8BE227C6. These are two virtual machines. With the two virtual machines. This in this one of the virtual machine, I'm going to intentionally delete. I'm select here. I'm deleting the virtual machine. Now I'm deleting the virtual machine. We can check here. You can the last two words are two lines have C6. So now it is deleting the virtual machine. Now virtual machine is deleted.
Slow. So,
Wait. Okay. So we deleted, then after some time it will create a new one. It will replace with the new one. Okay. If any one of the health issue is there in the VMSS, this virtual machine will replace it with a new one. Okay. Again, after that, we're going to put a stress. By using the stress command, we're going to log into the virtual machine. We're going to put the stress. When here C6, so now it is see here D7, it is replaced. Now I can check here. New one is creating. Understand?
mhm.
Here you can check here. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
S-
new one is created. Check here. See that?
D7 is created. Yeah.
See here creating. So see same thing here when having a health issue, but here we are intentionally deleted. But when in real time, what happens here there? So if any one of the health issues there, if having CPU load is there, it will replace with the new one. Replace with the new one. Here again we are going to log in this virtual machine. We are going to put the stress to create a maximum load. I just go here this virtual machine. We're going to connect to the virtual machine. Connect to the virtual machine. Click on connect here. Copy this key, or else you can use MOBA Extreme also. Do you remember MOBA Extreme?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just use MOBA Extreme. Go to the MOBA Extreme. To connect this one, copy the public IP address. Copy the public IP. This is the public IP address. This one, just go to the session. Which one? Session. And select the SSH. Then copy paste here the IP address. Then click on the advanced SS setting. And here use the private key. Use the private key. And the key is there in the download folder. This is the key. Select the key. Click on open and click on OK. What happened?
Firewall.
Yes, I think it we had copied the private IP. Here, check here. We had copied the private IP. I'm confused here. This is a private IP.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That is the problem. You can need to select the public IP. Okay.
Yes.
It looked like same public IP. That's why I was confused. Okay. Now again go to the MOA Extreme. Okay. One minute. We'll check for the inbound rows. Check for the inbound rows. Maybe SSH port is not enabled. Maybe that is the issue. Okay. Go to the networking here, where we can change the network the rule here in the Azure. You have a security group is there. In the security group, we will change the inbound rule. Where in check in the
Okay.
where we can change in the Azure in the networking tab in the whether in the security group.
Sorry, in the networking.
Yeah, networking exactly. In the network setting here.
Networking setting.
So in the network setting, you have a inbound port rule is there. Inbound port rule. Understood? Now you can check here in the inbound port rule. Here one option is there, create port rule. You can find here there is no port rule for the 22. That's why that is the issue is there. You can check here. It is visible to you?
No.
There is no inbound port rule is there. Now
Port
click on the
22
create rule.
somewhere.
Click on the inbound port rule. Click on the inbound port rule. Which port number we need to select?
22.
Exactly. What is that? Which port number we will select? 22. Okay,
22.
understood? So there is already port numbers are there, or else I'll select a port number 22. Okay, so that port number 22. Okay, understood. The name you need to give here. Any name I'll just give the 22 port. Now I added a 22 port. Now I can check here which port number I added. 22. Okay.
22.
Now What is the username?
Azure user.
Exactly. Successfully connect to the machine. Successfully connect to the machine. Can you remember the command stress command?
Stress -ng.
Yes. Then we need to install the first, before going to install the stress, we're going
Apt
to update the
install
system.
stress.
We're going to update the system. Just type the apt update. Okay. Then how will you install? apt install.
Apt
apt
stress.
install stress. Okay. So then we'll install the stress. So what is the stress command syntax? What is the stress command syntax? Just type stress on Ubuntu. What is that? Stress on Ubuntu. Here, this is a command to put the stress. Here, to put the stress on CPU, what is the command? Stress minus CPU or hyphen CPU. This is the how much load you want to put here and how much time. Okay, how much time. Understand? Now, paste here. Sorry. What is the command? Stress minus CPU. Minus CPU and timeout. What is that? Timeout. How much time I want to put here? How much time I want to put here? So minus timeout. What is that? Minus timeout. And I'll just put here 120 seconds. Okay. Now it will generate a load. What happened here? CPU is there. So we'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Then what happens? How many virtual machines will be created? How much maximum
Four,
here?
four,
4.
four.
4 will
Yeah.
be created.
So -4.
Yes. Okay, how many virtual machines will be created? 4 virtual machines will be created.
Yeah.
So when there is scale out, it will be 4. When it is scale in, how many instances will be there? 2.
2.
2. Okay. We'll wait for some time. And what happens? We'll go to the portal. We'll check that how many virtual machines are there. How many virtual machines are there? Understand? Now, again go to the VMSS. Go to the VMSS. Let me
Still
check here.
creating.
Yes. 1 minute.
It's not created.
Just refresh. Huh?
It's slow net.
Not net slow. It is Azure problem. Okay. It's not related to that. It will take generally refresh. It takes time in Azure. Even though I have 1 Gbps speed, in my office also same thing happened. Okay. So here we're putting the stress. We're putting the stress. In the intentionally while putting the stress in the Azure portal, then what happens? What happens here? So how many machines should be created? Four machines. Four machines.
Yeah.
And after that, after the stress command removed, if you leave for 10 minutes, then it will go back to the two
Two.
virtual machine. Minimum instances are two. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the which one? Auto scaling. Sorry, VMSS. Same thing. Auto scaling and VMSS are same. Now how many created here?
Four.
Four. Okay. That's it. Okay. Understand? So there is known as the what? VMSS. Whenever the load is increases, automatically we have defined that maximum instances are created need to be 4. Now how many instances are created? 4.
Four.
So now I just go to the other topic. We're going to delete this resource group. And next topic is the Azure Monitor. With that, Azure Monitor. Okay. So it is like a AWS CloudWatch. It is like a what? AWS CloudWatch. Okay. What does AWS CloudWatch do? What does AWS CloudWatch do? Okay. What does CloudWatch do, brother? Ashrafur, what does Mohsin? What does CloudWatch do? Are you there? I
Yes.
think just what does CloudWatch do?
It tracks your usage, right? For what do you call it?
It is a monitoring tool. It is a
Monitoring.
monitoring
Yeah,
tool.
monitoring tool. Yes, sorry.
It monitors all resources of the AWS inside the AWS. If any
Yeah, yeah.
resources will be monitored by the AWS and the
CloudWatch.
monitor, and it will create alert and send the notification for the user or customer. The same thing here Azure Monitor also do. Okay, the same one thing also Azure Monitor do. So Azure Monitor also check and monitor the resources of the Azure. Check the monitor of source of the Azure. In the same case, here having you created a virtual machine scale set, VMSS. So whenever it is maximum load is there, it created a 4 instances. Then this when you attach this to the Azure monitor will monitor and and alert will be created and it will be sent to the customer or user. Okay, so that these four are created. Sometimes if having a memory issue there or CPU issue there, it is deleted and also notified. It will be notified. It will be notified. Alert will be generated and notified through the Azure monitor. Through the Azure monitor. Okay. Azure monitor is known as the Azure monitor is known as the Azure monitor is known as the monitoring tool, also known as the observability tool. There are multiple observability tools are there, like we have a Nagios, okay, Nagios, okay, and have a SolarWinds, and have a Prometheus, and have a Datadog. What is that? Datadog. So these are the types of the observability tool or monitoring tool. So to monitor the AWS resources, we go for the CloudWatch. To monitor the Azure resources, we'll go for the Azure Monitor. So in generally open source are like SolarWinds, Prometheus, and we have Zabbix. There are multiple types of monitoring tools are there, like Wireshark, okay, Wireshark. These are the monitoring tools. But in Azure, we use the Azure Monitor. This is the platform web service. You don't need to install. Everything is installed by the Azure. By using Azure Monitor, we're going to monitor the Azure resource. Azure Monitor is a comprehensive cloud-based platform that maximizes the availability and performance of the application and infrastructure by collecting, analyzing, and acting on the telemetry data. Okay, telemetry data. Which one? Azure Monitor. It supports hybrid multi-cloud Azure environments by gathering the metrics. Okay, gathering the metrics, offer the insights through visualization, automating the alerting, and diagnostics. Okay, diagnostics. Which one? Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor. Okay, so here what are the key components and features are there? The data will be collected like CPU usage, memory usage, hard disk usage. All this data will be collected. Okay, from the Azure resources. The Azure resource may be virtual machine. The Azure resource may be load balancer. The Azure virtual machines may be VMSS. The Azure resource may be Azure storage. Azure storage. The resource may be a disk. Resource may be disk. It may be anything. It may be anything. It will collect the data. It will collect the data. A feature for monitoring web application, we can do the monitoring the web application also. Not only virtual machine, not only virtual machine or load balancer, not only resources. We can monitor the web application. Suppose there is web application is there which is running inside the virtual machine, then it will monitor the web application like how many people are hitting, how much traffic is there. It will monitor. It will monitor. Here it used to query, analyze and visualize data from various sources using the Kusto query language. So this Azure will use the KQL, that is Kusto query language. By using this one, it will analyze the data. It will analyze the data, and also it will provide the visualization like dashboard, how much CPU percentage is there, that is the CPU having how much CPU percentage there, how much RAM percentage there, how much load is there for RAM, how much load is for memory. It will create a visualization also, and also it will provide the alerts. It will provide the alerts proactively. It notifies the users for having health issue, having a health issue. Okay, health issue. Understood. So it gather the data from the Azure platform like a subscriptions or like VMs or containers, any application code. Application code. Understood. This is a full-time observability tool. So it is also known as sometimes the most of the people like as a layman it is one of the monitor, but in generally in DevOps world or like in technology it is one of the, also known the observability tool. Okay, monitoring tool is also known the observability tool. Okay, observability tool. Now, to create a Azure Monitor, what we did in previous in AWS, the same thing we'll create here, the same environment. We'll create a virtual machine, we'll create a one virtual machine, then we're going to monitor the VM. We're going to monitor the VM, and this Azure Monitor is notified through the notification service. We'll add a notification service. The Azure Monitor will notify the alert, then it will send the message through email. Send to the message notified through the email. Understand? Now we're going to do the Azure Monitor. Before going to do the practical of Azure Monitor, first we need to create a virtual machine because we need any resource to monitor. The resource may be virtual machine, the resource may be auto-scaling, the resource may be load balancer, the resource may be storage account, anything. The resource may be web application, okay, anything. So it will monitor the resource or web application. First we're going to create a resource group, then we're going to create a virtual machine, then after that we're going to create a Azure monitor, and so we'll attach the Azure monitor to the virtual machine, and also we'll attach the notification service also. Whenever the having any issue is there, this will be alerted by the Azure monitor and notified through a email or SMS or any web application, Now click on the create resource group. Do you understand what is Azure monitor? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
What does Azure
yes.
monitor do?
Same thing as
It's
CloudWatch, right?
like
Yes,
CloudWatch in it.
yes, Azure monitor. Just review and create. Just review and create. Now create a resource group. And now go to the home. Go to the virtual machine. Why it is not creating this one? Public address. Do you practice all these things? Previous class load balancer,
Yes.
Azure Web App.
Yeah.
This is the last class for Azure. I told you that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Monday onwards will go for the
DevOps.
DevOps. Okay. If you have any doubt, please ask Monday. Okay. Regarding after, check all the videos which I sent there. Then check all the videos, practice. Then please ask me. If you're having any issues there, if you're having any errors will be there, then I'll
Sir,
just
can you
clarify.
give us your channel link where you upload the videos so we can watch there?
No, that's not. I'll just give you no problem. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
same thing.
Yes, I'll give you no problem. We're going to cover like multi-cloud environment. We're going to create a pipeline and Jenkins pipeline, Azure pipeline, and GitHub actions. Okay.
Okay.
Generally, if you have only AWS pipeline, just cover only one pipeline. But we're going to have this multi-cloud environment. Go for the multi-cloud, multi-pipeline. Okay, in multiple ways. All these are you can add it in projects in your resume. Okay.
We are doing Kubernetes too,
Yes,
everything?
Kubernetes
Okay.
is there. Yes, Kubernetes is there. Not now. Okay. First, we'll
Later,
start
yeah.
with the Git and GitHub. First, we'll start with the Git and GitHub.
Git and GitHub, yeah.
Then we'll go for the Maven. Then you'll go for the pipeline. Go for the pipeline. Then you go for the Docker. Then you go for the Ansible. Then you go for the Terraform. Then you go for the Kubernetes. Kubernetes. Okay. Then one by one we'll go. If I have, then we'll go for the Prometheus. We're going to install the Prometheus. Okay, how to install the Prometheus. So why is it taking so much of time? Kubernetes is not perspective CK. There is an exam is there, certified Kubernetes associate.
Yes, yes.
So for this one, you go for the 2 months or 3 months course, specifically for Kubernetes. Okay,
CKA, right?
CKA,
Okay, yeah.
certified Kubernetes associate. Resource is created. Now virtual machine is created. Now I'm going to attach this virtual machine to the Azure Monitor Service. Azure Monitor Service. Okay. Go to the search bar
Okay.
here. Type monitor. Type what is the
Okay.
service here? Monitor. Okay. Here the option is there alerts. Here there is an option is there alerts. Click on option alerts. Here there are three options are there. We have a alert rule is there. We need the action group. Second with the alert processing rule. Before going to create alert rule, we need to create action group. We need to create a action group. Then click on this action group. Click on the action group. To create alert, first we need to create a like resource group. We need to create action group. We need to create a action group. And I'll just set as action group as a. We already created this one. We already created this one. If you want to create new one, you can create a new one also. So we already created a Azure Mon RG. Then we want to create new one. I'll just click on the create new. And here AZ1 Mon AZ11 AG, creating the action group. And whether I want to monitor the global or specific region, you can select here specific one. Okay, action group. I'm just giving the action group as anything. I'm just create it as a EC2 delete AG. Here I'm giving the display name as EC2 deleted DP. Okay, EC2 deleter DAG and EC2 delete. Yeah. Then select here the notification. Okay, select here the notification. Then we need to select the notification. Here I am selecting the email service, email SMS. Then we need to add the email. I'm just adding the email here. Javed, AWS DevOps. For notification. If any alert is there, it will send notify through same mail. Okay, what is the mail here? Javed AWS DevOps @gmail. Then we will going to enable the alert schema here. Alert schema. Suppose you want to notify through SMS, we need to add your phone number. Suppose you have a Azure mobile application notification, you can add the Azure email account. You click on OK. Now, click on OK and give the name here. AZ notify. Okay. So now, next is the actions. You don't need this thing. Now click on review create. I created an action group. Inside the action group, we added a notification, and in this notification we added email. And also email. Whenever the alert is there from the cloud Azure Monitor, it will alert through the email which we had given. Okay. Now we created action group. Then click on alert rule. Click on the alert rule. Then how will be alert created? Then if you having a CPU percentage, like you can check that alert whenever that metrics are CPU percentage and CPU usage, memory usage and network usage and disk usage. Based on this, then we're going to create a rule. Okay. Then which thing you want to monitor here, which service you want to monitor. Suppose you want to monitor the virtual machine, whether I want to create monitor the load balancer, you need to select the resource. We need to select the resource.
Resource.
Okay. Here under the aged mon mg, we have a virtual machine in there. Okay. This is the virtual machine. This is the virtual machine. Which virtual machine is there? This is the virtual machine. Okay. Select apply here. Then select the condition. So which condition we need to select here? Whether the CPU percentage, whether RAM, whether disk, whether OS disk, whether availability. So we just selected the percentage CPU. And if CPU percentage more than greater than 80%, we need to get notified. Just put here always 5. Okay, 5. Understood? Now click on the review and create. Click on here. Okay. Here the alert name rule is, you can give the rule name as anything. My rule, my life. Then review and create. Review and create. Now check the mail which we added, whether the mail was sent by the Azure or, because we added a mail. Okay, we added a mail. Now I can see here you are on the action group. You can check the mail ID here, Microsoft Azure. You can check here, brother. Whether you are in the which one? Azure Monitor Action Group. Okay. Now this is the virtual machine. What is the virtual machine name is? This is the virtual machine. Now this virtual machine, we're going to log in, we'll generate a load. Same thing, stress, we'll put the stress. Click on connect. Copy the public IP address. Copy the key. Then right click here, go to the git bash, because we had set the password instead of key. Go to the git bash. Paste the command. Enter the password. Enter the password. Now log into the root. Then apt update. Then we're going to install the stress. We're going to install the stress. Previous what we did. Okay, we're going to intentionally put the load. So to get the notification, the alert will be created and the alert will be notified through the email. Here, what is the command here? apt install stress -5. Then after that, what is the command here? Stress -c and minus timeout, and we have a 120. Okay, 120. It will generate a load. After some time, it will notify through the email. Understand? That's it. So what is this service? Is the
Monitoring,
Azure Monitor Service. Azure Monitor Service.
monitoring service.
The same thing we did in the AWS. The same thing exactly we did in the same AWS. Okay.
Yes.
So anyhow, I'll just practice all this thing. Then we have any doubt, whatever the things we have covered in the Azure, please go through and will just ask me that if having any output issue, then we don't any like having an issue there, please ask me on Monday. If you don't have any issue, then you don't have any doubts, then we'll start at Monday at the DevOps. Okay, I'll start with the DevOps. What is my DevOps? Then one by one I'll go. Okay, tools. Okay.
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 So that's it. If you have any doubts, then please note down and please ask me having any issues there. When I'm creating load balance, I'm getting an error. Then just please note on this and ask me on Monday. Okay.
Okay.
If you did everything, then no problem. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Understand?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's it. Okay. We'll go on Monday. Okay.
Thank you.
See you on Monday.
Yes. Bye. Have a good weekend.